There you go. Yeah, and certainly one of the things that Ron Campius actually brought up at the Jewish Telegraphic Agency, he said, when you think about European countries, many of whom have sustained huge terrorist bombings in the past few years, like Spain or France, that also don't require a visa just for travel purposes, they don't have that exception. It's an interesting case. The one counter argument that I heard that theoretically could hold water, but I don't actually find it compelling, is that this could be something that the United States government could use as leverage to pressure Israel diplomatically, in that if they withdrew this privilege or were able to threaten to withdraw it, that it might be able to prompt Israel to action. What's your take on that?
That's bull hokey, because everybody knows that's bull. One of the biggest problems that U.S. citizens face when they travel to Israel is that if you end up getting popped in the Israeli airport and they either want to deny you entry or deport you, when you call the U.S. Embassy in Tel Aviv, they ask you what your religion is, and if it's not the correct one, they tell you that they cannot help you. So this is not going to allow the United States to have any more leverage than they do right now, because what it's doing is it's giving Israel the excuse. So usually we say, well, why are you sending me back? Why are you doing this? Now they'll say we have every right to. It's written right here. And again, why does Barbara Boxer feel that Israel deserves this special privilege? What do American citizens pose such a threat to Israel? That's more of a threat to our own country. Do you know what I mean? She's basically...
It's shocking. I mean, it's shocking, especially because she's such a liberal stalwart on so many other issues. And I agree with you. And I think that people should call their senators, call their members of Congress, and express dissatisfaction with this if that's the way they feel. And if they don't, I think you're up against some pretty compelling arguments that it is very problematic. Maysoon, thank you so much for joining us in these so brief 2 segments that we have. You're great, you're funny, and it's a good opportunity to talk with a fellow person from Jersey.
Sure, and I hope we meet again. Listen, people can go to Maysoon.com, just Maysoon, like the month of May is coming soon, Maysoon.com, and learn about the stuff that I do with United Cerebral Palsy of New York.
United Cerebral Palsy, and of course Maysoon's kids, too.
Yes, and of course, Maysoon's kids have their own page, and we have a bunch of girls graduating and needing scholarships, so it's all fun.
Fantastic.
All right, Daniel, thank you for fighting the good fight, and say hi to David.
You are absolutely welcome. Thank you so much, Maysoon Zayed. David Shuster is going to take back the mic for the next hour coming up, and we have an amazing hour coming. First, we're going to be talking with Alan Rosenblatt, who's talking to an interesting guest when Take Action News continues after this.